So we will be discussing all these policies. The list is rather comprehensive. We will not be discussing um, minute details of the policies and few of the aspects which are in general help us in retaining the nature and the content and the core aspect of policy, that we will be restricting ourselves to that. This is a 24-page document. Once you are through with that, you all will be having a fair idea how to write related to the education and the policies and the measures which policymakers or the ordinary individual or some of the think tank must have. So here, Samagra Shiksha, which I had discussed a day before yesterday. Thereafter, these are few of the interventions which policymakers or the government made to cover all the beneficiaries, especially under the banner of the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. And universal access, including infrastructure development and retention. These are few of the highlights here, which help you on write your own set of thoughts. These all highlights will provide you a sufficient aid for writing related to the policy and policy specific measures. See, Vigyan Pratibha, we have discussed that. School education, Sagun, that again we had discussed that yesterday. And elementary education, so the education which has been capped into like an healthcare sector into 3 tier. First is the elementary education or the primary education. Second one is the secondary education, and third one is the higher education. Integrating secondary and higher education, there are overlapping areas, that is vocational education, making students or making beneficiaries fit for industry or fit for their own initiatives. So these are few of the details which we had discussed yesterday. Now we will be discussing a scheme for transformational advanced research in science. The name of this scheme is STARS. The acronym is STARS, for promoting a translational India-centric research in sciences, to be implemented and managed by Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. The scheme basically was launched on the 28th February on National Science Day, keeping three basic aspects in focus: physical sciences, chemical sciences, biological sciences, nanosciences, data sciences, and earth sciences. And the objective is basically to fund science projects which are translational. I have kept here the difference, few of the difference related to interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary aspects also. So another scheme post that we are going to discuss is the scheme of the transdisciplinary research for India's developing economy, and the acronym is STRIDE. STRIDE is also known as, in English, the synonym against STRIDE is step forward, or we can say leap also, which somewhere give us the hint to promote the objective of this particular initiative. So this basically scheme carries the aims of this scheme is to promote innovative culture for interdisciplinary research, especially in universities and colleges. So interdisciplinary research, we all know, somehow we understand that analyze, synthesize, and harmonize link between disciplines into a coordinated and coherent whole, while transdisciplinary integrates the natural, social, and health sciences in humanities context, and transcends their traditional boundaries. This is the definition-based difference, or we can say the comparison. You can made to the interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary aspects in education. So the scheme is basically um, uh, orienting to research and develop India's developing economy, plans to add new disciplines for research support with a thrust on the research capability building. Further, you can read something more about the stride, what kind of innovative research projects are supported, that is socially relevant, locally need based, and nationally important, globally significant projects are also part of the stride. And so there are certain objectives. Every scheme, policy, mission, program, and will have a few of the objectives. Out of that, stride have its own objectives to identify young talents and strengthen research culture and build capacity, promote innovation, and support transdisciplinary research in India's developing economy. There are few components of the stride. Just go into that, read this document. You will be finding a little more detail about the scheme. Now we will be discussing the scheme for promotion of culture of science. This is just my attempt to keep you in and keep you abreast with the type of the schemes and the policies government have initiative across country and in different states and union territories, and with the involvement of um, Ministry of Education and the certain other policy making departments and the institution of eminence. Here, scheme for promotion for culture of science. The aim behind that, or the observation behind that, the gradual decline in the interest level of the young students to pursue career in the field of science and technology in the country um, um, forced government, and government considered that this particular area as a pressing need to strengthen science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education by creating additional infrastructure for hands-on and engaging activities, especially for non-formal mode of education. So this is the little detail which which will help us in retaining what the STEM is. Now, another scheme, which is a scheme for a promotion of academic and research collaboration, that is SPARK. The initiative is basically Ministry of Human Resource. Now, this ministry is known as Ministry of Education. The basically aims at improving the research ecosystem in India's higher educational institutions, facilitating academic and research collaboration between Indian institutions and the best institutions in the world. The government initiated this in August 2008, and these are few of the salient features of the SPARK. The scheme will improve the research ecosystem in India's higher educational institution. Basically, this particular scheme is related to the higher education and the research. These are few of the expected outcomes which SPARK scheme is supposed to achieve, like all other schemes. So SPARK scheme is expected to have major impact on the following areas. This is a long list of the impact which I would like to request you to please go through the impact, and so that we could express our thoughts while writing something as an especially writing which we are having an interest and must be based on outcome. So like the scheme and the expected outcomes of these schemes are providing the best international expertise in solving major national problems. This is basically quantification approach, or we can say it's a kind of checklist also that this much this scheme has achieved over a period of time. Science help Indian academician research to unravel deep and open research problems with the help of best collaborators abroad, enable long-term stay for international faculty. The simultaneous help of in academic interaction, research collaboration, and niche course development enable a large number of Indian students to be trained in high and experimental facilities, produce a large volume of educational and research content in terms of high quality journal publication, textbook, research monographs, patents, demonstrable technologies, product that are jointly authored by Indian and foreign collaborators. Then I have a strong thematic interaction, which enable students in the country interact with high quality research groups through workshops held in India, develop strong bilateral relations with academic and research, enable most of the top ranked Indian institutions to develop academic and research collaboration, improve international ranking of Indian institutions through combination of internationalization, research outcomes, and academic interactions, leading international students interest in Indian education system. There will develop a set of success stories that can enable international agencies and Indian industry, partner ministries, support, follow projects, create a major international impact for catapulting Indian academic and research, and help make it competitive with best worldwide. So this is truly a very concrete list of the way they have delineated the outcome in a very, I will say, in a concrete manner. Thereafter, research for children, right of children to free and compulsory education act, that is right to education, very very much worthy act, which for the Indian in the Indian community and social perspective. So basically, the Right to Education Act, every child between 6 to 14 years of age, this particular act has ensured the right to free and compulsory education. There are certain features of Right to Education Act 2009. These are few of the features which you just go through, and there is a little history about the right to education. The Article 21A of the Constitution and the 86th Amendment Act 2002 led to the Right to Education initiative in India. This is the history. On 86th Amendment 2002 via Article 21A sought to make free and compulsory education a fundamental right for all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years. Later, other developments happened over a period of time, and in 2009, the Right to Education Act, renamed as Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Bill 2008, and in August 2009 it got this particular name. So in this, what is free and compulsory education, it has been defined fairly, and role which was envisaged for the community and parents to ensure right to education. The document is available in the drive. Just this is the sync I'm trying to establish with the content, especially so that when you will be reading this document, it will catch few of the interesting aspects by you. I think so that it must catch your interest. Few of the points will definitely lead you to that level. Then how RTE will be financed and implemented in India? What are the key issues for achieving right to education? These are few of the aspects which this I have covered rather comprehensively. I could have retrenched this particular content also, but my concerns didn't allow me to retrench. That's why I kept it in that detail. What is the mechanism available if RTE, right to education, is violated? Means whatever pecuniary or punitive punishment exists against this particular act violation of this act. Then what is the right to education bill? In 2002, education was made fundamental right in the 86th amendment of the Constitution. So prior to 2002, education was not perhaps the fundamental right, and 6 years after the amendment was made in the Indian Constitution, clearing the right to education bill. Um, Key provisions of the bill include 25% reservation in private schools for the disadvantaged children from the neighborhood. Along with that, the people the bodies who were affected by the implementation of this right to education bill initiated the proceedings in the court of law, and the court rejected their petition, um, and challenged which they challenged um, in their petition, this particular act. The private unaided schools, they claimed that they will not be able to meet their expenses if this particular level of quota has been decided, but um, court rejected and made it mandatory that whatever it may be, that private entity is obliged to admit its advantage boys and girls from their neighborhood. The source is basically mentioned over here. A road to ensure right to education, a roadmap to ensure. There are a few of the this is the guideline, or you can say the implementation aspects of the Right to Education Act. So please I'm just scrolling it up faster. You just go through. Now, next comes the Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan. Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan is centrally sponsored scheme launched in 2013 and operates in a mission mode for funding state government university and colleges to achieve aim of equity, access, and excellence. These three words, equity, access, and excellence, are basically the keywords for Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, RUSA. And RUSA has seen three phases. I mentioned it. The RUSA latest is the RUSA 3.0, RUSA 2.1, and RUSA 1.0. So these details are basically the objectives and the salient objectives of the RUSA. These are the 1.0. Thereafter comes the Protection of Child from Sexual Offence Act. The Ministry of Women and Child Development championed the introduction of Protection of Child from Sexual Offence POSCO Act 2012 in order to effectively address the heinous crimes of sexual abuse and sexual exploitation of children through less ambiguous and more stringent legal provisions. Thereafter, Pradhan Mantri Innovative Learning Program, that is DHROP, has been started by Ministry of Education to identify and encourage talented children to enrich their skills and knowledge. And in the centers of excellence across the country, gifted children will be mentored and nurtured by renowned experts in different areas. The DHROP is basically, the name has been, the epithet has been used, taking a star which guide us direction, reference of star. Thereafter, policy on school bag 2020. The meaning of school bag, as per the Collins Dictionary, the school bag is a bag that children use to carry books and other things to and from the school. And there are certain other aspects, and a lot more deliberations has happened while framing the policy on school bag 2020. The PM School for Rising India scheme, that is PM's 3 schools, and this is the school for Rising India. 3 schools are centrally sponsored schemes that aims to strengthen selected existing for 1,400 schools to provide high quality education in an equitable, inclusive, and joyful school environment. The beneficiaries are there, and there are certain key features like education in an equitable, inclusive, joyful school environment that take care of the diverse background, multilingual needs, different academic abilities of children, and makes them active participants in their own learning process as per vision of National Education Policy 2020. Thereafter comes Nipun Bharat. That is Ministry of Education launched that. Um, this is a very critical program initiated by Ministry of Education, basically ensuring the proficiency in reading and understanding in the numeracy, that is Nipun Bharat, ensuring that every child in the country necessarily attains the foundation literacy in numeracy by the end of the grade 3 by 2026-2027. There are Department of School and Literacy, and this, yes, national mission which has been launched under the aegis of centrally sponsored scheme Samagra Shiksha. Several other school specific agencies, schooling specific agencies are part of this Nipun Bharat program. Now, what is the foundational literacy and numeracy? This has been defined in this particular scheme. These are few of the details. Now, National Sports and Talent Search Scheme has been formulated for a talent identification between the age group of 8 to 12 years, nurturing of the identified talented sports person. When the ministry involved was basically Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, and the coverage has been mentioned here. Thereafter comes the national scheme for PM Posan in school, to enhance the enrollment and retention and attendance and simultaneously improve the nutritional level among school-going children studying in the class 1st to 8th in government-aided schools, special training centers, madrasas, and maktabs supported under the Subshiksha Abhiyan. A history of this national scheme for PM Posan. The history basically linked to the rolling out of the midday meal scheme. The midday meal in schools had a long history in India. In 1925, a midday meal program was introduced for the disadvantaged children in Madras Municipal Corporation in 1925. By the mid-1980s, 3 states, Gujarat, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, and Union Territory of Pondicherry, universalized the cooked midday meal program. And by the 1990-91, the number of states implementing the midday meal program with their own resources on the universal or a large scale had increased to 12 states. Now it is, and now this particular PM Posan scheme is covering entire country, encompassing all states. Thereafter comes National Education Policy. Just please go through this policy. It's a very detailed document. I have not even removed details of this particular National Education Policy 2020. This must be read from introductory statement to the last line also. And the lastly, you just please go through that and you tell me if I will discuss this National Education Policy 2020 separately also. It's a very it's all encompassing policy. Will not, it demands separate discussion also. That's why. So there is a last scheme which I covered here in this document, that is IMPRESS, that is Impactful Policy Research in Social Sciences, aims to encourage social science research in policy relevant areas so as to provide vital inputs in policy formulation, implementation, and evaluation. IMPRESS is the initiative of Ministry of Education, Government of India, and scheme was sanctioned in August 2018. Process had been halted due to the onset of COVID-19 pandemic. These are few of the objectives of this IMPRESS scheme. and basically to identify and fund research proposals in the social science with the maximum impact on the governance and society, to focus research on 11 broad thematic areas like state and democracy, urban transformation, media, culture and society, employment, skills and rural transformation, governance, innovation and public policy, growth, macro trade, economic policy, agriculture, rural development, health, environment, science and education, social media and technology, politics, law and economics. These are few of the focus areas, 11 broad thematic areas. These has been kept in the list of objectives also. Sub-theme areas will be decided on the basis of expert groups advices before notifying the scheme to ensure selection of projects through transparent and competitive process on online mode, and to provide opportunity for social science researchers in any institutions of the country, including all universities, central, state, private institutions, status conferred by UGC. This is all I wanted to discuss with you. This is rather, I discussed rather faster, but this is just an effort to keep entire content once through with your um, 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 before your eyes, and please read this document carefully. I will definitely enrich your understanding and knowledge also. So this is all I wanted to discuss with you today, and going to conclude this class thereby. So hope document is available in the drive. I have also shared on this on the group also. Just access that, and if possible, review this as soon as I conclude this class. So good day to all of you.